Rob's Arcade, Rob's Arcade, where the games get played and the games get saved so they can be played on another day. Rob's Arcade.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Rob's Arcade. I'm, of course, your host, Mr. Rob French. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today, and a special shout out to all my Arcadettes out there. We got my homeboy, R4, hanging out with us today. You got it, buddy. And it's time once again for the midweek breakdown. Now, for those of you who aren't quite sure what the midweek breakdown is, like your first time here, first of all, that's right, go down, hit that subscribe button, you guys. You don't want to miss a single minute here on Rob's Arcade. And the midweek breakdown is pretty simple. It's like basically just your midweek breakdown. I like to hit you guys at least twice a week on Monday, kind of catch up with you, see how your weekend was, make sure you had a good weekend, talk about my weekend, and then kind of get you guys motivated for the upcoming week. And then, of course, I like to touch base with you guys at least one more time throughout the week on Wednesday, because it's also New Comic Book Day. That's right, buddy, you got it. So I like to kind of hang out with you guys, get you through that hump in the week, and then hit my local comic shop, pick up some comic books, and just kind of hang and rap with you guys about all things comic books and video games and movies and all that kind of stuff. Now, it's Wednesday, so it's not only a new episode of the midweek breakdown, but it's also a new episode of Hawkeye, which has been one of our favorite new series. I know, Boba Fett's coming, buddy. But Hawkeye has been one of our favorite new shows on Disney Plus. It's really good. It reminds me a lot of the actual MCU, and it very much has that kind of vibe that the Falcon Winter Soldier show kind of put off for me. Like, don't get me wrong, I love, WandaVision and Loki, but they were a little abstract and kind of outside the box. Hawkeye and I feel like Falcon and Winter Soldier just kind of really fit into that whole universe very, very well. And it's kind of like, I don't know, even some of their Marvel movies recently don't really feel like they mesh in with where they left off with Infinity War and the Endgame. But yeah, I mean, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Hawkeye very much feel like it picks right back up from where that all left off. And it's just been a lot of fun watching it. And if, no spoilers, but if you haven't been keeping up, they introduced Yelena last week, Natasha, Black Widow's sister. And I think that's been some of her best performance with that character is within this show, especially today's episode. Wow. I mean, was it Pugh? What's her name? Oh my gosh, I can't think of her last name. I know her first name is, her last name is Pugh, Florence Pugh. Oh, I feel so bad. But whoever plays Yelena Romanoff, Natasha's sister, is just doing a fabulous job. I feel like she's really shining in this little showcase here. And then I haven't really been watching a lot of spoilers or follow-ups or breakdowns of this show in particular. When it came to other ones, I did kind of want to get ahead of the game, try to find out where is this going, especially with Loki. I was watching breakdowns of every episode. This one so much, or not so much, I've been kind of allowing myself just to watch each episode and kind of take it in and see where it's going from, from a viewer's standpoint without getting all the Easter eggs. And there have been a couple of things I've been thinking. I'm not quite trusting Kate Bishop's mom, Eleanor. I kind of feel like, and again, spoiler alert, in the first episode with her father dying, I feel like Eleanor had more of a hand in all of this. She's playing this, quiet little housewife, and I don't know what's going on, and it's all my husband's fault, or it's all my boyfriend's fault, and I don't know what. I think she's a lot more involved in all of this. And I think if you watch today's episode of Hawkeye, once we get to the very end, you'll kind of see the same thing I'm talking about. It's very, there's a very, thank you. There's a very big moment, a very big reveal at the end of the episode. One of the one of the big baddies from the Marvel Universe is coming back on screen, it looks like. He's not only got a very big reputation, but he's just a big guy in general. And I've kind of had a feeling ever since they introduced, what was it, the jumpsuit mafia or whatever it was, that this guy was going to be following very, very closely behind. We only got one more episode left. I'm kind of sad about that, but it looks like we have the Book of Boba Fett coming out in just another week or so. So that'll help squeak me by until the next Marvel show starts up on Disney Plus. And also we've got Spider-Man coming out this weekend. So hopefully you guys already have your tickets. I'm gonna try to squeeze into the theater myself this weekend and see if I can't catch me a little bit of a Spider-Man action at the theater. We'll see what happens. We don't know. We'll see. Maybe that'll be a fun topic to talk about on the Monday show. Now, aside from that, I don't really have a whole lot to get into. It's been kind of a crazy weekend. I'm getting back into business as usual today. I just dropped my cousin Lauren back off at the airport, where she's heading back to Virginia with her daughter. And they were staying with us for a few days. So I didn't get as much comic book reading. I like to keep a journal and just keep track of how many comic books I read every week. And I don't even have to open this guy up to tell you, I only read like 7 books this week. It's not the greatest. I know, like I felt like 8 was kind of a low number, but the way I look at it is kind of like a comic book a day. So if you're like an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Yeah, exactly. A comic book a day, at least you're reading, at least you're getting something accomplished. So I'm trying to justify it that way. Although it's not the best number of comics I like to have throughout the week. It's just kind of a personal thing. Kind of like to track my progress and how many books I read and all that. But, you know, like I said, I'm kind of entertaining this weekend. We did do some Hollywood studios. We did some Disney Springs and a little beach time. And I will have some video of that. Like we did a little holidays at Disney with Animal Kingdom. And I'll have some more coming up with Disney Springs. And of course, Hollywood Studios as well. So look forward to those videos. Like I said, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss those videos coming up. But like I said, I'm kind of getting back into the like business as usual and like the swing of things and just kind of like my normal routine. So hopefully next week, my comic book numbers will be much bigger. In fact, I kind of plan on just today, like, kind of taking it easy. I'll fold some clothes, do a little laundry, do a little YouTube editing, and then just read a bunch of comic books. Of course, and you don't want to miss our Fours pick of the week. Make sure you hang out throughout the entire video, because at the end of this video, our 4 is going to give you his pick of the week. That's right, the comic book that we're looking forward to reading most. So anyway, speaking of comic books, we're going to go ahead. We're going to head over to the Comic Book Club. They've got a great YouTube show. If you're not familiar with them, you need to hop in, check their show out. They give you a great breakdown of what comes out every week at your local comic shop. You can watch them, see everything that comes out, and then hang out with me and see exactly what I pick up from these guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead, grab our wallet, grab our masks, and head over to the comic book shop and see what they got for us. I didn't watch their episode today. I didn't watch the episode. I don't know what's out. I have no idea. So this will be kind of a fun surprise for me. So don't go anywhere. Hang tight. I'll be back in just a moment, you guys. Take care. Don't wait. It's not bye. Just wait. Stay. Dude, what? Just don't. I know, buddy. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging in. Hopefully I wasn't gone too long. I always have such a great time over at the Comic Book Club. They're so sweet, so nice. They were giving me compliments there on my my Superman ring that I I said it was like the red kryptonite. Yeah. Well, I know kryptonite, the red kryptonite is kind of evil, but it's just a cool ring and it's fun, you know. Oh, could be red kyber crystal. I guess but that's Sith. It doesn't matter what it is, like whether it's a red kryptonite ring or a red kyber crystal. Anyway, always such a great time hanging out at the comic book club. Those guys are always so sweet. And Dolly was actually like, you need to start a subscription. Like, it would save you money for one. And it's so funny because I save a lot of money. Like I said, you watch their episodes and they will give you a free like little password that, you know, if you mention it while you're shopping, they'll go ahead and give you like another 20% off. Yeah, for all, yeah, another 20% off of all your comic books. Or your well, not just all your books, but like I think it's 20% off of one item. But usually they do like the biggest item. Like a lot of places will be like, oh, you got like a $3.99 book or like an $8.99 figure. They're going to give you the 20% on the book. These guys are going to give you the 20% on the figure. Like they're going to look out for you, especially if you're like a regular, you shop there all the time. They're always going to look out. But today she's like, yeah, you need to do a subscription. Like I do the punch card, I get free comics so often. Honestly, I probably spend a third of the money I used to spend on comic books when I lived in Virginia. Like, honestly, yeah, at least half. I mean, sometimes I would walk out of the comic shop in Virginia almost in like the double digits, sometimes in the double digits, like $100-some on comic books with bags, boards, and all sorts of. I don't think I spend more than like $40 a week now. Like it's insane how much money I save. Yeah, with these guys. And so like we're talking today and like, yeah, you need to do a subscription. You can save even more money. They have like a password. And it's just one of those places where like I feel better about buying comics. Like it was, you know, when I first moved, I was first of all just worried, am I going to find a comic shop that I'm really going to enjoy, that I'm going to like going to every week? And not only have I found a great comic shop with a comic book club, but just some really great people, you know, they care about their customers. I walk in and it's like, hi, how are you doing? If I'm late, she'll notice, just sharing stories back and forth. I mean, we talked today about Figment. We talked about my family. We talked about her family. We talked about her trips to Disney. We talked about Superman. We talked about Hawkeye. We talked about so much stuff in just like a short little 15-minute period. And like, I honestly feel like it's one of those places where like, you know, if something happened, if I lost my dog, if I was thrown out of the house, if my parents passed away, like whatever it was, and I was just like so sad and down in the dumps, I could go there and just talk to these people and leave and feel better. Like I feel great every time I leave. And I know like if I was ever down in the dumps, these are two people that could genuinely just cheer me up, and I wish them the best. And I mean it, man. Yeah, I know I'm getting a little sappy, but you know, it's the holidays, and I really love Dolly and Dwayne over at the comic club, and I couldn't ask for better people to sell me comic books. But anyway, enough about that. Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into what we picked up this week. Now, starting off, we're going to jump into Marvel. There's no, I don't think we have any Star Wars books, buddy. I know. Don't know what to say. I told you my Star Wars might get a little thin now that the War of the Bounty Hunters is over. Now, this is one book I wasn't sure about. Like, I've been kind of reading this Defenders title. I love this cover. There's just something so innocent, sweet, and also it's very simple. It's just a very simplistic cover. But it says a lot. And I wasn't really sure about this title when it first dropped. I figured I would give it a run. I read a few issues and I still wasn't really sure about it. But they have just some great, like, I mean, some of this artwork in here just really reminds me of early, like 90s comic book art. And then they're doing all like the dots with all the coloring. I don't know if you can kind of like get in there and really see all that, but like that's how art used to be done, and color blending and all that. They would look like little dots, you know. yellow and red dots to make orange and all that stuff. Like if you really get in there, you can really kind of see all that stuff. But yeah, this has been one of my more favorite titles actually. I wasn't really sure about this one. It's kind of like the Amazing Fantasy title I started collecting. I wasn't really sure, but the more issues that come out, the more I seem to like it. Now, I was kind of worried. I thought I skipped out and I missed this issue, and I kind of did. It looks like it came out like maybe last week. We have Spider-Man 80, and then I'm like, did I miss 78? Did I miss 79? Spider-Man's been dropping like crazy. It kind of reminds me a lot of like Wolverine back in 1990s, 91, 92, where yeah, it was like twice a week or something. You just couldn't keep up with it. I think it was like twice a month, but it felt like twice a week. And I feel like there's a Spider-Man book coming out every single week now. I don't know how I missed this one. I love this cover. Craven swallowing Spider-Man like a little cockroach. Then we have the Amazing Spider-Man number 81, which did come out this week. Gotta get your Spider-Man on. Kind of reminds me of some of the costumes you might find in the PlayStation Spider-Man game. Speaking of Spider-Man and the Spider-Man game, we have Miles Morales, who has his own Spider-Man game as well, and his own Spider-Man title. And this is actually, I've been liking this Miles Morales title a lot more than I've been liking the actual Spider-Man title itself. A new issue here, a new little story, Wastelanders. First up is Wastelanders Wolverine. Yep, and that is Star-Lord, and I like this cover a lot because you got like Star-Lord and Wolverine looking very aged. This kind of reminds me of the podcast image, which I guess is what they're going for. Little take on the podcast of whatchamajigger's Star-Lord, which is available on iTunes. And there was for a while like a little link you could kind of like click on, and this is interesting. So a lot of Marvel comics come with a free little like digital code. Oh my gosh, there's no digital codes this month? Hold on, wait. What's going on here? I'm confused. There are no digital codes in any of these books. Hold on. I'm really confused. Let's look at last month's book. This is a book from last month. See? This is weird. What's going on? They have a digital code here, right? All the books this month do not have one. Guys, what is this? What is going on here? This is happening live right now. This is me realizing right now none of these books Oh, they're switching it up. Now you have to email the code. Maybe people were like going into stores and just peeling these off and taking the codes or something. Like, what is this? This is going to make this a lot harder for me because I like to give you guys the free codes in the comment section. So now I've got like an extra step I have to do. I'm like, what is this? So follow the on-screen instructions. Once your request has been confirmed, a redemption code will be emailed to you. Marvel. Well, let's move on to DC since you guys, I don't know what's going on with you. That's so weird, right? I mean, like, yeah, I don't, exactly. That's a lot more steps, dude. I don't know how I feel about that. All right. So keeping up with Joker, we've got Joker number 10. This seems like it's an ongoing series. Maybe I thought it was a limited series. Maybe it's only like 11 or 12 issues. I thought it was going to be like 8 or 9, maybe 10. Is this the last one? No, there's more. It looks like there's more. Or is that the side story? Yeah, that's a side story, maybe. No, it still goes. It goes on and on. Joker's still going on and on. All right. I haven't picked up any Flash in a while, so I figured I'd grab a little Flash action there. Very nice. I love the Flash. Does it feel like this got darker? I feel like this got darker somehow or something weird. Maybe it's the lighting in the background. If I do, is this weird? If I do, hey, what's up, everybody? All right. Moving on to the independents, we have, of course, King Spawn, another shoot off of the Spawn series, which is funny. Like Spawn, like I feel like had a bunch of shoot offs when it first dropped. There was like crossovers and just all kind of stuff. Yeah, galore. And it kind of stopped for a while. Ooh, that's pretty graphic. Look at that. Boom, baby. And that kind of fell off for a while, but now it seems like Todd McFarlane's kind of finally realizing, like, hey, like, you know, Stan Lee, a lot of creators make a whole like universe for their characters. Why shouldn't there be a Spawn first? Kind of makes sense to me. I don't know. All right, next up, because it's the holidays, we got some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Christmas action. I've been a big fan of like this turtle stuff. I mean, this is like some of the books that really got me into comics when I was growing up as a kid. And I've been really getting back into it with these like collections and these best ofs, and just really looking forward to this. We got one of the characters here. We can't really tell. Looks like, oh no, there's Raph in the Christmas sweater. Pretty cool. Looking forward to this. And don't go anywhere. We got our Force Pick of the Week coming right up next. Bum, ba-da, bum. Our Force Pick of the Week. Berserker #6, and also one of my favorite titles. This is being put together by none other than, of course, as we can tell here, Keanu Reeves. We got Matt Kind, Ron Gardney, and Bill Crabtree. Now this is issue 6 from Berserker, and I'm really, really digging this comic book. It's got a very, just, like, I mean, beautiful art, nothing too crazy, nothing over the top, just very detailed, very beautiful, kind of simplistic. Like there's nothing, I mean, I hate to like break it down like that, but I mean, there's nothing like over the top with any of this art, but it all just speaks for itself. It's all very beautiful, very well done. The color is amazing. The story has been great, and I really hope that we get some kind of a movie, or perhaps like an HBO special or ongoing show with them. We already know that Keanu has some ties going on with The Matrix and HBO Plus. So, you know, maybe we can get like an HBO Plus type of a show. It's an ongoing little segment here featuring the Berserker character. I don't know. I feel like this comic book has just been one of those big treats. It's kind of like the first time I picked up Spawn. Yeah, just something like I didn't really know what I was getting into, and the more I read it, it's very graphic, very, I mean, just look how much blood and guts and everything we got just like pouring. I know, feel bad for those guys. Just gushing on the cover there. So, yeah, he says, I don't know, maybe I should have picked something a little brighter. But yeah, this is going to promise to be a very excellent read. I can't wait to jump into this. And guys, thank you so much for hanging out. That's all I've really got for you guys right now. I don't really have a whole lot more going on. R4 wants to give you guys a special little thank you, of course, as always, for hanging out with us. And I got to thank you as well. Please, like I said, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss any future videos coming your way. You want to hang out with us every Monday and especially every Wednesday, but you never know when I'll be popping in with more videos. I'm going to get that stuff put together for the Disney trip that we just did and get that on my page here very, very soon for you guys. Hopefully you got your Christmas shopping done. Hopefully you guys are having a great holiday so far. And I miss all of you. I love all of you. Happy holidays. And remember, this isn't goodbye, simply to be continued. So until next time, don't spend your quarter anywhere else. Thanks for hanging out at Rob's Arcade, and I will see you guys soon. Later, guys. Thank you.